If you are in college or working at a tech company looking to break into startups, you might be lost in terms of exactly how to do that. Today, I'm going to share my best tips and advice for breaking into the startup community. Hey everybody, my name is Ish, founder and CEO of Virtually, and I've been in the startup world for half a decade, starting my first company out of college, running my second company right now. We went through the YC Summer 20 batch. Today, I want to share with you my journey to breaking into startups and how you can do the same thing. Let's start off with college. What should you do as a college student if you eventually want to break into the startup world? For me, coming into freshman year at the University of Michigan, I discovered the world of hackathons. And for me, that was the key into breaking into startup. Almost every weekend, I would experience a new hackathon, being surrounded by some of the best builders in the country. Startups would come sponsor these hackathons, and I'd get to network with those startups, the recruiters there, and get access to invaluable mentorship. If hackathons aren't your thing, that's okay. Your goal is to surround yourself with builders, people who inevitably will start companies, and people you're going to want to know because they're going to connect you to investors, other founders, as well as potentially become your co-founder. In a college environment, I've typically found that these entrepreneurially minded people are part of entrepreneurship clubs, societies, even taking all the entrepreneurship classes in college. This is a really good place to start, and I would find a way in college to get as involved with these communities as soon as possible. With entrepreneurial classes at college, I don't necessarily recommend the curriculum as the best way to learn to start a company, but the people that are drawn to those types of classes are the people you want to get to know. One of the most invaluable experiences for me during college was actually my first internship, which was at a startup. This startup actually didn't pay me, and so I was working for free for an entire summer, but I was a freshman and I didn't really have any other option. I worked my butt off that summer to prove myself, and even though I didn't get paid, I racked up a ton of experience that I used to land offers at Microsoft, IBM, Dell, and Facebook the following summer. Now, let's say you're working at a FAANG company. What can you be doing to set yourself up in a position to leave and maybe start your own company? Just like in college, you want to look for like-minded people, whether it's people who are passionate about the same technologies and problems as you, or the people who are into startups. And trust me, at any big company, there's always people who are looking for their next big thing. FAANG companies inevitably draw some of the top talent out there. So networking with the folks who are interested in startups, usually in their early 20s to mid 30s, are going to be the most likely prospects of people who could be your co-founders one day. During the 2 years I spent at Facebook, I met these individuals through happy hours, company events, and recruiting trips. Now let's talk about some general tips for building your network, gaining credibility, and ultimately helping laying the foundation for you to be able to raise your first venture round. First place I would start are online communities. This could be Reddit forum, this could be an incubator. The one that I really recommend is On Deck Founders. On Deck Founders and other programs of the sort are typically places for people who are looking for what's next. Future founders who are pre-idea stage. Another great one that I've heard is Launch House and Startup School, which is run by Y Combinator. The goal of these places are designed to connect individuals who are looking to start companies, and specifically for helping them support the early stages of raising a venture round and finding a co-founder. If your goal is to raise venture capital, there's two things that I think will really help you. First is to actually build credibility, and the second is to get traction. VCs are generally going to be looking at what it is that you're trying to build, why you're the right person to build it, and how far along you are. Before you go out to raise, it really helps to have that credibility and traction piece. The story goes a long way in helping convince investors to give you money. A really easy way to build credibility is to blog, create content, show that you're a thought leader in the space that you're operating. As for traction, while it's not a requirement, the more you have, the easier it is going to be to raise at better terms. That's all I've got for today. If you found this helpful, like and subscribe. And with that, this is Ish signing off.